So hello, good evening, everyone. I really appreciate that all of you took the time to come here tonight for this. This is our annual State of the School address, and it is an address that I really look forward to being able to deliver every year, because this is really a time when we get to celebrate the many accomplishments that all of you in this room and those who could not make it tonight have been doing in our school. But before I do that, it would be remiss of me if I did not address what has been going on in our school and the healthcare system for the last couple of weeks. So, as you know, in the last couple of weeks, there has been a lot of several anonymous letters that have been in the press. And I will just say that for me personally, it's been really sad. Not sad because it's been about me and Craig, but sad because it has now gotten to the point where it's very clearly impacting all of us. And I'm sad that this has happened. And I'm also sad that there are this many people who are really genuinely upset. And so I wish that was not the case. Now, I will tell you that I 100% am looking forward to, and I'm welcoming the investigation that you all know is going to happen. I think it is only through this investigation that we're going to be able to get past this, and that we're going to be able to heal and come together. And I expect that when we get through this and past this, we're actually going to be stronger for it. So I don't want that to dampen the enthusiasm and the celebration of all of the amazing work that you all have been doing. And so I wanted to make sure that I said this and I addressed this with all of you at the beginning. We will get through this, and we are going to be better for it. So let's start on our State of the School address. So this is our organization, and this is we are part of the larger university, as you all know. And the school is part of UVA Health, the larger umbrella, along with the School of Nursing. And in our school, we have 20 clinical departments, and we now have 9 research departments. And we have also, new this year, 7 research centers. And as all of you know, our physicians in the clinical departments also have appointments in UPG. I also was remiss on thanking, we have several board members in the room, so I do want to thank our board members who came from our health system board, our health foundation board, and our UPG board for coming here tonight. So thank you all for doing that. Now, our mission is transforming health and inspiring hope for all Virginians and beyond, with our vision to be the nation's leading public academic health system and best place to work while transforming patient care, research, education, and engagement with the diverse communities that we serve. We also have our Aspire values, which we hold near and dear: accountability, stewardship, professionalism, integrity, respect, equity, diversity, and inclusion. And then all of you probably are very aware of our 2032 strategic plan, which we have all been working very hard to advance. And there are a lot of amazing components to this strategic plan. So as I give you the State of the School address, you're going to see a lot of the things that I'm presenting tie directly to this strategic plan. Okay, so let's first talk about our people, because our school is amazing because of our people. So here is one of the 2 slides on leadership. So the top row is the leadership in the dean's office, and you can see our 4 senior associate deans, as well as Jeremy, our chief operating officer, Mark, our chief of staff, and Allison Holt, our associate dean for finance. On our second row, you can see our 9 research chairs. So I was super happy to welcome Matt Gurka. He is one of our new chairs that joined us this last academic year for public health. And very excited that on this slide is Charles Farber. So as you all know, in this past year, we got to celebrate something that we will probably not see again for a long, long time, the creation of a new department. And so Charles Farber, our own, is now leading the Department of Genome Sciences, and I could not be more proud that we have them as a department and all the amazing work that they're going to be doing. On our bottom row are our center directors, and I think you probably know all of them. Our two newest, those are the two that you may not know, and I didn't see Evan come in. Is Evan here, Evan Scott? I did not see him walk in the room. So Evan just joined us. He came to us from Northwestern in Chicago. He is now leading NanoStar with considerable support, thank you, from our Cancer Center. And so I do think that many people will be collaborating with Dr. Scott. And then our own John Lukens is now leading the brand new Harrison Family Translational Research Center. These two centers, just so you know, are the only two that have definitely been given space in the new Manning Institute. So everyone always asks me all the time, what's going to go in there? What's going to go in there? So I can tell you for sure these two centers will be going in the Manning Institute. So we're so excited for that. And then when it comes to our clinical chairs, here are our 20 clinical chairs, and the ones who are in orange all joined us during this last academic year. So I believe I saw Dr. Lay sitting over here who joined us for dermatology from Texas. Dr. Muck, I saw Dr. Muck walking in. Where's? Yep, there you are. I knew I saw you. Dr. Muck also joined us from Texas. Dr. Huang joined us most recently, literally a month and a half ago, coming from Penn State. Dr. Jun also came and joined us in the back here from Hopkins. Dr. Misra, yep, I'm good. I was trying to notice where everyone is. Dr. Misra joined us in last December from MGH. And Dr. Durdane, I think, is not here tonight. He was actually out of town, and he came to us. He is actually a WHO, so he was coming back home, and he is now leading radiology, and he came to us from Iowa. So I'm very happy that everyone in this room has helped me to welcome all of our new chairs to this institution. Now, this is what our school looks like. This is our growth of faculty over time. So the dark blue bar shows, and this was just as of September 10th, we now have over 14,000 faculty in our school. So we are growing. And if you look at the teal bars on the bottom, you can see that in the last 3 years, in 22, 23, and 24, we really have been hiring 108, 145, 150. And just in the first 2.5 months of this year, we've already had 103 join us. And so we are definitely on a growth phase. When you look at the orange are the departures. That's all departures, including retirements. And you can see our departure rate. So to remind you, we have a very low departure rate that is well below that of the AAMC. The AAMC 3-year rolling average is 8.3. And so you can appreciate coming out of COVID, we did have an increase there, but it's been going down steadily for the last 3 years again. So very proud of our low departure rate. I do think this is an amazing place to live, and this is an amazing school and place to work. Now, here is our growth by track. So I think this is very interesting, and I want you all to know, we have really been growing our clinical faculty track. That's the tallest bar in blue. And you can see that just since 2019, it has grown 27%. So those are mostly our clinicians. Then you can see in the yellow, those are our clinician educators, and the gray are academic investigators. The bar, and I've been talking to the chairs about this, they know it, the one that I would personally like to see more growth in are our clinician investigators. We've only had 6% growth in that track since 2019. So I do think there is a great opportunity for our school going forward. This is our promotion and tenure, and again, I really want to thank Dr. Pollard and her entire team because there's a lot of work that goes into the promotion and tenure process. But you can see we have had these last 3 years have been incredible with the numbers of individuals who've been promoted or tenured. And so we're very proud of that rate. Now, all of you are doing amazing work. So these are the individuals who received the Dean's Faculty Excellence Awards for this last year. And you can see we have a lot of our named awards. We give out the Master GME Educator Awards, Excellence in Teaching, in Mentorship, Clinical Excellence, Master Clinician, Excellence in Research, and Team Science. And these are awards that everyone is nominating among your peers. So please remember, because all of you can be nominating individuals for these awards through our process. You guys are doing amazing work, and it's another fun day when we get to celebrate that. But we also are doing amazing work nationally. So these are some of the national honors and recognitions. So look at the first 3. So Dr. Garcia Blanco became a member of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Kenworthy became a fellow of the American Association for the Advancement of Science. And Dr. Moorman was inducted into the National Academy of Inventors. We have service awards at the national level, education awards at the national level. Look at all of the leadership and achievement awards. I mentioned to Dr. Kellum, she's in here several times. Okay, I think this is number 1. So, and then you can also see the early career awards that we have. So you all are doing amazing things. And then I love this. So these 3 individuals, so Dr. Adut, these are national guidelines. So she was the lead author of Climate Change and Children's Health Guideline for the American Academy of Pediatrics. And then we had Dr. Wolf, who was also lead author on lung cancer screening guidelines. And then Dr. Shabani was actually also publishing the guidelines on our targeted focused ultrasound work. So amazing work. We have individuals who've been leading as presidents, national societies in their own domains. We have so many more that are officers in different national and international societies, but these were the presidents. So you're leading on the national scene. And we also have 10 individuals who are editors of journals. Again, another way to shape the dialogue at a national level. So proud. This is incredible. So these individuals, again, Dr. Kellum's number 2. She's like, oh my God. So these folks were recognized, and look at the national outlets. So Time Magazine, Dr. Halstead was in U.S. News and World Report about the magic mushrooms. Dr. Pinkerton, did you guys watch the NBC Nightly News story? I mean, Dr. Pinkerton, way to go. Dr. Harris, you were in New York Times and Time on the effects of parasites in the human brain. Dr. Shaw, NPR. Dr. Hugh in USA and Today, and Dr. Wilson, also in U.S. News and World Report. So look at what you are all doing. And this is having an impact with your own work at a national level. And all of this leads to, throughout the history of our School of Medicine, we now have 23 members in the National Academy. So we gained a membership into the National Academy of Inventors in this last year. So that is pretty cool. Now, when it comes to our research mission, we have a lot to be excited about. This is our overall grant portfolio for research. And what you can see is in 2023, we had a very large boost. It was about a 27% growth in our research portfolio, and we maintained that in 24. Yes, there might be some accountability issues. Some of the things in 23 should be allocated to 24. Either way, our research, the impact that we are having with our research has grown, which is tremendous, because that's what we all want to be doing, those who are researchers. It's that impact. This is how we are positioned for the entire university. So we're 50% of all of the research that is conducted at the university when you look at all of the other schools. So again, very impactful work that we are doing. And if you look at our portfolio, 60% of our portfolio, and it makes sense, is from the National Institutes of Health. But you can see following behind that, 10% is nonprofit, and then followed by industry at 8%. Now, I've shown this a lot. This slide is really important. I do think here's where, again, we have some opportunities. So the big pie chart is UVA. This is our NIH portfolio of research. We are very dominant when it comes to NIH-R awards, extremely dominant. So when you compare us to top 10 public schools or top 10 overall, you can see that we are very dominant on the R's. And our opportunity are actually our U, the large U center grants. And you can see that our peers have 21 and 23% in the U's, where we're 7%. So I have been saying this. I think most of you in this room have been hearing me say this for the last several years, but that is really one of our opportunities. The research we are doing here is incredible and impactful. And so it is just about taking that to the next level. And I think Dr. McMahon, our VPR, was going to be here today. Is she in the room? She may not have made it over, but I do want to put the plug in because she has been reminding us is that for those of you who are planning on submitting large program project or center or T32 grants, she has personnel in her office that can help. And she just wants you to reach out to her office and they can help you with these grants. If not, go to Dr. Martins and he'll get you into the right direction. So where does that place us as a school? So with our recent increase in our funding, we are back turning this around and we are on an upward trajectory. So our most recent ranking that came out in February, we were 38th overall, which puts us 19th out of public schools. And so I fully expect that we're going to continue to see a positive trend, but what is really going to make a difference, as we all know, is when the Manning Biotech Institute opens and we are able to have a significant growth in our research with the Manning Institute. I'll say a little bit more about that in a minute. These are some of our investigators I also wanted to highlight because some of these awards are pretty incredible. So our own Dr. Zimring, you got an $11 million grant for the work you were doing with transfused red blood cells. So thank you for what you were doing. That is incredible. Dr. Onengut, did I get that part right? Gamusku, you also have received a very large grant. No, he's not here. Dr. Chi is not here today. He has also received an impressive award. And then Dr. Petrie, I saw you, there you are. Do you guys know that he is our most well-funded individual in the entire School of Medicine? Did you guys know that? If you didn't, I know, right? So I have to bring attention to that. And congratulations again on your continued amazing work that you're doing. It is not about the money. It is not about the funding. It's about the impact of the work that we're doing and the difference that you all are making. And that is what is important. We also had a really fun event. And so I want to thank Dr. Martins and his entire team who helped to organize our research retreat. Because of COVID, we hadn't had a research retreat in about 3 or 4 years. And so this was the first research retreat that we had when I was here as well. And it was so exciting. We had over 300 people that were there. Who was there? Raise your hand. Who was at there? Yep. Okay. Was not the most fun aspect the Shark Tank competition? Okay. So the Shark Tank competition was amazing. So this, to remind you, was calls of applications for individuals who are going to propose large and complex program, project, and center grants. There was a committee that distilled it down to the teams that would compete on site, and we had sharks The shark judges were phenomenal. I think when we all agree that the shark judges were great. And we actually am so thankful the Brain Institute and our provost contributed extra funds, so we were able to give out $500,000 in seed funding, and these were our recipients. And first place, the whole audience scored. You can't make this up, but the scores were identical for Team Alpha Gal, show of hands, Team Alpha Gal, yep, over here, and Team Postpartum Depression. Those were the two, yep. And we also have our glial dysfunction, our epilepsy, and our G6 PD teams, and we know that you all are going to submit some amazing grant applications to fund your work to take it to the next level. So we love it. So clinical trials. Again, I want to be positive, but at the same time, very straightforward with you all. Here's another opportunity. And so clinical trials, we are doing very well with clinical trials. We have 553 active trials. But I want you to notice the blue is those that are actually accruing patients. So we only have 202 clinical trials that are active that are accruing subjects. The other 351 are not. So I think this is an opportunity. And you can also see that we've been enrolling, so in this last fiscal year, almost 2,500 subjects. So we definitely know how important this is to our patients, right? Patients want to come to centers that have the latest and greatest clinical trials. And so we really want to help provide the infrastructure to allow all of you to be doing clinical trials and offering that to our patients. So for the last year and a half, we spent a lot of time and resources from the university as well to stand up, and this was under the leadership of Dr. Duska and Lori Elder, a full-service clinical trials unit. It is now open. It opened May 20th and it's full service. Look at that little wheel of all the different aspects of clinical trials that this office will help you with. And so I want to encourage all of you who don't have the infrastructure, the resources, to contact them and use these services. So if we don't use this clinical trials office over the next couple of years, then it proves we didn't need it. But this was something that everyone told me we needed, and so we now have this. So we have many CRCs waiting for business. So if you have a clinical trial, go there. I also would like to recognize that we have, and he's not here today, I just learned that Dr. Showalter, he was recognized with the Inventor of the Year award from our LVG group, and it was amazing for his Brachygel vaginal hydrogel packing system. Great work that he is doing. I also want to recognize some other entrepreneurship. We had 3 ventures that were formed in this last year. So I don't know if Dr. Kevin Lynch here today. So he formed S1P Therapeutics, and I did see Dr. Ma, who formed 2 ventures in this last year, MG Medicine, and is it just HTIC or HTIC? Okay, HTIC. So wonderful that these 3 new ventures were formed. These were the patents issued, not the invention disclosures submitted. We had 42 patents that have been issued from School of Medicine faculty, which is incredible. And so if you look at this, you could see the distribution of those patents. So if you look at the blue bars, biomedical engineering, go, very strong, followed right behind psychiatry, and then behind them are radiology. So you can see where a lot of the work is actually coming from our invention disclosures that are turning into patents. So great work. This is also to show you the revenue. It's not a lot of revenue, but it's still good revenue, and you can see that the revenue coming from this work, and it's going all to the departments. And so this is actually really good news. So we have a lot of entrepreneurship going on. I did want to give a super brief update on our Paul and Diane Manning Institute, which is just an incredible venture and an incredible journey, I would say, that we are on, because this really is game-changing, not only for UVA, but also for our state. and what we plan to do with this. So here's the timeline. And the timeline starts in the bottom and goes up. And we are now up, so we had the groundbreaking in December, where I put the blue star, the foundation and superstructure work beginning. Now, I did just find out in a meeting earlier today, literally earlier today, that the timeline might be extended a couple of months, still to be determined. But in general, the timeline is looking pretty good, but it might be a couple months. Now, this is the schematic of the building. This is the lowest level, what the architects call the garden level. So just to show you, the gray in the bottom left, that's like the loading docks. You can see where the trucks would come in. The pink in the upper right is the CGMP facility. The dark pink, whatever color that is, to the right is all of the vivarium. Okay, just to give you a sense. The main level that you would walk in on from the street, level 1, so you can see all of the purple when you walk in is like the lobby. There's a whole cafeteria, seating. You can appreciate all the conference rooms that are going to be in there. I saw Jay Fox, very happy to see all that orange. That orange is all the core facility space for all the cores, and it's going to be fantastic to have them all together, right, Jay? I know you love that. And then you can see the wet lab benches are the lime green. And to give you perspective, those are long. They are 24 feet long. Each little bay that you see, there's 4 of them together, is 6 feet. So those are long benches, so it's much more space than you would appreciate. And then levels 2, 3, and 4 are all identical, and you can see, again, it's a lot of wet lab space with PI offices, write-up space, and shared support. So this is moving along very, very nicely. These are just some of the pictures. Obviously, none of it's been built yet, but these are some of the pictures and renderings just to give you an idea for what it will most likely look like. None of this has been solidified yet, but these are from the architectural firm of kind of the feel for the buildings. I just wanted to make sure I shared that with you. Very nice. We're aiming for lots of light throughout the building, lots and lots of light. Now, when it comes to our education mission, we also have a lot going on and a lot to be proud of. So we train a lot of individuals. So we have 179 fellows, 624 residents. We take 156 medical students a year, so that's 607. We have 279 in our PhD BIMS program, and we have 80 master's students. So we're doing a ton of education, all of us in this room. And for our medical students, I just want to, again, tell you how amazing our students are. So we had nearly 6,000 applications for 156 spots. Our students coming in this year, average MCAT score, 94th percentile, average GPA of 3.85. Our students are incredible. When we look at the list, comparing MCAT scores and GPAs, and we see the list of all the schools across the country, we are right up there with Harvard, UCSF, with our students. They're incredibly competitive. So our students are amazing. And our match rate for our students going into residency programs, 99%. Could have been 100. Dr. Keeley knows this. Where's Dr. Keeley? She knows it could have been 100. It was a student choice. It was a student choice. But so they do great. So we have a couple of signature events that are super exciting. So I have come to, I love Match Day. I know Dr. Keeley loves it maybe more than me. I don't know, it's a tie. But Match Day, we had 144 students match into 24 specialties in 27 states. And just look at the excitement. The picture I love is the one at the top next to me. Look at her face, the excitement. You guys all remember for the doctors in the room. And look at the proud father in the bottom pointing. It's just an exciting day. So this is our list of specialties that our students match into. I do want to call something out, and we just talked about it this morning. So medicine, by far, dominant specialty that our students go into, which is fantastic. I want to point out anesthesia. So anesthesia, banner year, because the size of their department is much, much, much smaller. Look at how many students went into anesthesia. So I think it was described today when we were doing our department reviews. What did you say is like the hot specialty going on right now? So I think all the anesthesiologists in the room, I just want to say good job, because you're attracting the students into your specialty. And OB-GYN right behind, surgery, peds. So really good work, because you know the students go into specialties often based on amazing rotations and experiences they have with all of you. You can also see that they're going all across the country, our students. So much to be proud of there. We also have our BIMS lab coat ceremony. So this is when our PhD students have finally selected, after their first year of coursework, the lab that they're going to go into and who their mentor is going to be. And we have a ceremony where their mentor, and so I believe you can see, is that Dave Kashadis at the top? Yep, and there's a Farber at the bottom, are putting the white coats, the lab coats, onto our PhD students. It's an incredible event as well, and a great time to celebrate our students who are about to embark upon their research lab years. That is fun. And then, of course, we have graduation. And so we had 144 doctors that are MDs, 34 PhDs, 52 Masters of Public Health, and 7 Masters of Science in Clinical Research that all graduated. For those of you who walked the lawn, oh my gosh, you probably ruined your shoes like I did. That was the muddiest I have ever seen. But it is so much fun. And for those of you, and I actually see Lori, you came in the back, our VPR, everyone. You will see this. The entire lawn is just packed. And it is just so much fun and so much excitement. And then we have the event that we just had in August a month ago. Again, another pivotal event in the lives of our medical students. The day they put on their white coat for the first time. And so this is another great day. The white coats are endowed by our class of 65. But the other thing that was really cool this year, and I really want to thank Barry and Kate and the alumni office and our class of 63, they endow the stethoscopes. So all of our medical students get a stethoscope. But this year, because of Barry and Kate and the Alumni Association, they got many more gifts. So you see, they actually got like the equivalent of a whole bunch of stuff in a doctor's bag. They got a blood pressure cuff, they got the hammer, and they also got, ding, the tuning fork. So it was amazing. They were super excited. You should have seen them every time they were like, ooh, it was so great. Yeah, Mick, you remember. And then our residents and fellows, again, we train so many of them, and so I appreciate everyone's hard work. We have so much to be proud of. We have 84 ACGME accredited specialties. And what we were able to celebrate just in July is our ACGME program just received full reaccreditation with 0 citations and 0 areas of improvement. So congratulations, everybody, on that. Lots to celebrate. This is where we sit with our different residency programs when it comes to doximity. Now, yes, it's doximity, and so it is basically a popularity contest of your residents and your former residents voting for your program. But students look at this, and I would say it's also a sign of how happy your residents might be of your program. So I want to point out, look at family medicine and internal medicine, unbelievable. So for those of you who are in the room, and I see Dr. Lee and Dr. Rosner, and you guys are within a decimal point of each other, I mean, that is just amazing. And then look at radiology, pathology, and surgery. You guys are all in the top decile in the country. And then we have 13 programs in the top quartile. So that is amazing. So congratulations for all of you and all of the hard work that you're doing for your programs. On the clinical mission, we also have so much to be proud of. Love that picture with the robot. So as everyone in this room knows, we've had a lot of growth over the last 4 years. We are now 6 hospital, 2 physician group, and this year, fiscal year 25, we're about a $4.5 billion enterprise. It's a lot, and we are delivering a lot of care, almost 50,000 procedures every year, over 1.3 million ambulatory visits, lots of telehealth engagements, and our emergency department, we know you guys are working hard and it is busy and we appreciate it. Our patients appreciate it. Some of the clinical highlights I wanted to point out, some amazing things that you were all doing. So Dr. Little, so she has the clinical trial to help Appalachian residents quit smoking. Dr. Gadry, he's got the device that actually can monitor labored breathing, so you could actually predict when a patient might be needing to go to the ICU. Our cancer center, amazing, was visited right after Biden's State of the Union address by a White House leader, and this was about celebrating the insurance coverage for patient navigators. And then our Center for Diabetes Technology deployed the first AI-driven artificial pancreas in 6 subjects. That is cool. We also have Dr. Brayman. I saw you coming in back there. Where'd you go? Yeah, there you are. And so Dr. Brayman is leading our auto islet transplant program. So there's only a handful of these programs across the country. And this is a differentiator for patients that have chronic pancreatitis. Below that, we opened the new eye surgery clinic. So that's going to be amazing for our patients. You can see on the left that Dr. Mason, along with cardiac surgery and cardiac anesthesia, performed the first extravascular implantable, basically ICD. And then you can see Drs. Gehrig and Scott celebrating the opening of the expansion of the mother-baby unit, much needed. So a lot of great clinical programs that we've been working on. There's so much that's been celebrated. So I thought I would just put this all on one slide. There's a lot of recognition for all the amazing work that everyone in this room is doing. I also really like one of the most recent accolades, which is the Forbes, that we were actually recently rated the number 11th best employer for women in a healthcare industry at a national level. So another thing to be really proud of. Lots of recognition. When it comes to the diversity among us, we are doing really, really well. We are doing really well in so many areas, all except for one. I will tell you, we are either at the national average or far exceeding it in basically our female and those who are underrepresented in medicine in all of the domains except our faculty. And that is still, we only have 6% of our faculty are underrepresented in medicine. That is still an area we need to continue to work on. But all of the rest, look at, especially in the sciences, look at the number of females in the BIMS program and the master's program and those who are underrepresented. In our medical students, it's unbelievably diverse. And I couldn't be more proud. And you can also see just from this picture right here, I saw Dr. Bell back over here, an amazing program that you lead. So thank you for all of that. And our own trainees, or our own House Staff Council for Diversity and Inclusion, had their 6th annual Trainee Diversity and Inclusion Conference. And they had Calvin Johnson, who was our Deputy Assistant Secretary, come. And the topic was basically the fight against housing insecurity. Our residents did that. It's really cool. Our community, we do a ton. I love this picture. Just wanted to pause on it because that's a fun picture. But in the community, Dr. Downs reports this number to us. We had among our 29 departments and our was 5 centers, now 7, we had 100 different community events that you all participated in. And it's from, skin cancer screening events, mammograms, you name it, to going to middle school or elementary school. And here's a great picture from our biomedical engineering department doing STEM outreach. It's just great that we are out in the community. We also have our Charlottesville free clinic, 139, thank you so much, Mo, 139 faculty and learners that supported the clinic in this last year. And again, there's so many events to highlight. Just chose these 4. Again, our Cancer Center doing a lot in the community. And you can see our Cancer Center on the one on the left was really backing these 1-year community projects to basically address disparities. And then on the bottom, our Cancer Center, Dr. Lochran, again, thank you so much, partnered with New River Valley to actually mail out colorectal screening kits. Great initiative. On the top, our Healthy Streets, Healthy People. This was done co-sponsored with Well Aware to really promote community safety and wellness. And then, did Dr. Valentine come in the room? I don't think I saw Dr. Valentine, but we established the UVA Health Leadership and graduated the first cohort of individuals. And now we're on our 3rd cohort. There you go. Thank you, Dr. Pollard, who is partnering with Dr. Valentine on this. So wonderful. I think many people in this room have been attending it. On our finances are very strong. So you can see our finances over time. So the blue bar is the clinical revenue, and that's in the clinical departments in UPG. And then you can see the other aspects from research to the health system, et cetera, combined together. The clinical revenue from UPG and the academic side from the School of Medicine, we are now at a $1.2 billion enterprise, part of UVA Health. And when you actually, I wanted to plot these out for you so you could see the clinical and basically the academic, and you can see both are on the rise over the years, which is great. I did want to mention our clinical compensation plan. There's been a tremendous amount of work that has been going into the clinical compensation plan. This started well over a year ago, so I want to thank everyone in the room who's participated in this, because this has been a lot of work. So we got through phase 1, which was developing the overarching School of Medicine, basically principles for the comp plan. We just finished phase 2, which was all 20 clinical departments forming their committees and developing their department comp plans that conform to the overarching. And now, Jeremy Sabisky, our COO, and his team are about to start the analysis phase of this work. So phase 2, it was very, very much a faculty-driven engagement with over 185 faculty that were really involved in this process with the 20 different departments. And it was a lot of meetings. So those of you in the room who led committees know. Here's the summary slide. I thought you would all like to see the summary slide. This is what all of the 20 departments turned in. And what you can see is on the right, in the orange box, is how all the different departments, their committees, have decided they want to weigh the incentive work between clinical, quality, research and scholarship, teaching, and citizenship. So where we're at on this is basically now with the analysis, as Jeremy will be doing the analysis and also sharing all this information with all the different departments. And I fully anticipate that there will be revisions of plans and some back and forth. But this is where we are, and so I just want to thank you all because this is hard work, developing a school medicine comp plan. And then philanthropy, my last few sections, we have just so much, again, to be proud of when it comes to the work that we've been doing when it comes to philanthropy. So we all know pay lines are rough right now for grant funding agencies, whether it's the NIH, the DoD, the NSF, you name it. And philanthropy is a way where we're able to raise funds to help support all of you to do things that would be really hard to do otherwise. So it's really important. And whether it's helping for a clinical program or a research program, an endowed professorship, an endowed lectureship, you name it, it is important. So last year was an incredible year. So we had $121 million in giving, 18 new endowments. But what really struck me when I saw this data is we are now, as a school, at 226 professorships. When I gave this data to the school 2 years ago, we were just over 200. So this is really growing, and our efforts are really paying off. But this is what I wanted to show you. This is incredible. So you can see the trajectory, and you can see the engagement from the community and all the amazing donors who believe in your work. And one of our Health Foundation members is here in the audience. Where did you sit? There you are. Thank you. Okay. But it is, we have a Health Foundation board that is dedicated to this. And we have Amy Carr and her entire team who work tirelessly to help all of you with this. And this is really helping all of your programs. So I'm so proud of the work that has been happening in this area. This graph excludes the amazing $100 million gift from Paul Manning. So if you put that $100 million in, fiscal year 23 is much higher. But that one was such a large and unique gift, I kept that out of this particular graph. Some of the key endowments that happened last year that I just wanted to recognize. So the Harrison Family Translational Research Center, that was an incredible gift, and that is the one now that John Lukens is leading. We have the Goodman Family Professorship. That is for Evan Scott for Nanostar. Peter and Anna Sim made a gift, an estate gift, that's going to give 2 scholarships every year. You can see Dr. Keeley beaming right now. You've got Nina and Ken Botsford created an endowed professorship that will be held indefinitely by the chair of the Department of Neurology. And then Bonnie and Wick Mormon gave an incredible gift that has led to several different endowments for psychiatry. So just amazing giving going on. And our alumni are part of this giving. And our alumni are incredibly proud of this school. All right, so who can spy the 5 faculty in this picture? We have 5 active. I know you can, Barry. I saw a couple of you in the room. This was the class picture of the 1984 class at the most recent reunion events. I see you guys all looking. Dr. Bell's looking. Do you see all 5? You should. I know. But they had the coolest dinner because I didn't know we had a castle here. They had a dinner in the Scott Castle. I didn't know it existed. All right, so I will leave you guys guessing on our 5 faculty. But our alumni giving, and this is under Barry and Kate, you guys are amazing to work with, has also been tremendous. Much of this giving goes directly to fund all of our scholarships for our students. And we have now almost 10,000 alumni, which is great. So this is the graph that I am incredibly proud of. And both Barry and Kate know that at every alumni reunion, and I've come to really look forward to those now, I really, really make sure that they understand how grateful we are for their gifts. Because I want just to point this out to you. When you look at this table, this is the national data. So we have 489 students receiving about 13.6 million in scholarships. We're in the upper 85th percentile in the country. If you look at how many of our graduates graduate with debt, it is 66%, but without, so that's really low. Believe it or not, 66, it's very low in the country. We're at the 25th in the country. And our students who graduate without any debt at all, 34%, and we're at the upper 75th percentile in the country. And it's because we have gifts that keep coming from our alumni, and we have gifts that date way back and have really garnered a lot of funds. So I am grateful, and I love going to these events to make sure that I share with them how their gifts translate to our students. Dr. Keeley agrees. It is great. This is just a picture from our most recent one. These were all the different classes, and they all have their individual dinners, and so it is just a lot of fun. Maybe one day I'll make it to the castle too. And then my last section is just communications. I really hope that we are doing good for all of you in communicating what you're doing. So as many of you know, we didn't even have a newsletter until 2.5 years ago, and we've created Medicine in Motion, and it's been around for 2.5 years now, and it has right now over 7,600 recipients that receive this every week, Thursday morning at 6 a.m. And I want to thank you all for submitting the amazing work that you do. Keep submitting it, because otherwise we won't know about it. We want to keep promoting all of the amazing things that you are doing in this room. And we are always open to feedback if you have suggestions about Medicine in Motion. Much of what I said today in this talk, in this State of the School address, you are going to see in the annual report that should be hitting the mailbox or electronically in your inbox in November. Because again, we love celebrating all of the impactful things that you are all doing in this room. And I will just end with saying that while we've had some very recent challenging times that I addressed earlier, I have been incredibly proud to serve as your dean of this School of Medicine. Incredibly proud. And I'm looking forward to many, many years to come serving all of you. So thank you for being here tonight.